பாலும் தெளிதேனும் பாகும் பருப்பும் இவை நாளும் கலந்துனக்கு நான் தருவேன் கோலம் செய் துங்கக் கரிமுகத்து தூமணியே நீ எனக்கு சங்கத்தமிழ் மூன்றும் தா. Good evening everybody. Today let me tell you something about the pronunciation of the English language. Before that, we have to, as usual, we have to begin the class with today's thought. Today's thought, whether it is science or humanities, it should essentially inculcate the mind. Whether it is science or humanities, it should essentially inculcate the mind. It was said by Dr. Radhakrishnan, the best teacher of this country, of the world. We can call ourselves that he was the best teacher of the world. So whether it is science or humanities, whatever we learn, there must be some inculcation in the mind. There must be some modification in the behavior. Otherwise, our learning will go futile. With this thought, let us begin the pronunciation of the English language. So, once when George Bernard Shaw was talking about English pronunciation, he wrote a word on the board and asked them to read the audience. I write the word here. He wrote the word on the blackboard and asked his audience to read it aloud. All of them read it as goatee. Goatee, as we have seen, ghost. They read it as goatee. For this, Bernard Shaw declared to the crowd that you are all wrong in your pronunciation. This is not goatee, but it is fish. But it is fish. You have to pronounce this as fish, he told the audience. The audience were perplexed to see his saying. They didn't know why did he say like this. For this, he gave the audience his explanation. Here, enough GH is pronounced as fa here. Women is pronounced as I. Women is pronounced here. The O is pronounced as I. In women, the O is pronounced as I. And finally, nation. This is pronounced as sh. This is pronounced as sh. Or this is pronounced as sh. So this should be pronounced as fish. Here it is F, fa. Here it is E or E, fa, E, ish, fish. It has to be read as fish, he said. Why he said like this was that he wanted to tell the audience that English is basically and completely an unphonetic language. Unphonetic language. What does it mean by unphonetic language? I write a Tamil word for comparison here. I write Kadavul. If the isolated letters are read Ka, Da, U, Il, Kadavul. The letter Ka is pronounced as Ka in the word Kadavul also. The letter Da is pronounced as Da in the word Kadavul. Similarly, all the letters have the same sound in isolation and also in the word. When we write the word God, read the letters first. Read. G O D. G-O-D. 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 It should be let us G-O-D only. But we are reading it as God. So, in letter form, it has a sound. In the word, that letter has a different sound. So, this is called unphonetic nature of a language. So all the European languages, many of the European languages are unphonetic. Many of the European languages are unphonetic, whereas our Tamil and the Dravidian group of languages are phonetic languages. As far as the phonetic languages are concerned, there won't be a big deal to learn the pronunciation correctly, whereas it is very difficult to understand the pronunciation in case of unphonetic language like English. So, unphonetic means sound. The sound of the letter is totally different when it is used in a this is called one-to-one correspondence. One-to correspondence in the pronunciation of the letter in isolation and the pronunciation of the same letter in a word. So this is called unphonetic nature, unphonetic character of the English language. Let me give you some examples for the unphoneticness of English language. Here, I write like this. How will you read these words? Few, new. Then, how will you read this?